And that's going to be Sam Paul.
Hey guys, Spencer again.
Charles King.
I'm a little whizzed off about a couple of things regarding the police. I don't have fancy cameras. I don't have anything fancy at all, but it doesn't change my opinion on things. You know, my local police department, earlier today, it's April 27, and at 2:41-ish this afternoon, one of our officers was responding to an incident. I don't want to go too in-depth with it because it hasn't been released yet, so I want to be mindful about that. Was trying to respond to a situation with a road rage incident where guns may have been shown. The officer was looking for backup. You know, sometimes they call it another car. Well, we're so underfunded right now across America with police departments because of the Defund the Police movement that the nearest officer was about 4.5 miles away. And I live in like the 4th largest city in my state. And we had one officer somewhat, and there were other calls pending or holding, depending on where you're at. They could be pending or holding. This officer was conducting a felony traffic stop. If you don't know what a felony traffic stop is, that involves guns on the officer's part. He wasn't even attempting to pull this car over. He was, actually there were two cars, but the one fled off. The other one just stopped on their own, which never happens, but this one did. And the officer had to adjust his whole protocol in order to address that issue. He's calling for backup. We had one officer that was available in my city at the time, because everybody else was on other calls. At 2:41 on a Wednesday afternoon. So we called our neighboring city for help. Dispatch replied that they were all tied up on calls too. This officer could not get help. Felony traffic stop with somebody with a gun just involved in a road rage incident where two people were pointing guns at each other. He gave a description of the other car, hoping somebody in the area, another officer. My point here is there weren't officers available to take care of everything. At 2:41 on a Wednesday afternoon. Does that make sense to any of y'all? Probably not. Because you might be in the defund the police category. That's what happens. And guess what? When something bad happens and the police can't show up in time, the police are going to get blamed for that too. It just breaks my heart. And then my friend Ben, who was a police officer in Columbus, Ohio, had a similar situation when he went to work yesterday morning. His first call was to a lady who called 911 at like 7:30 the night before. He comes on duty. He's the first. 12 hours later, that's the first response, because Columbus, Ohio, was dealing with all other kinds of calls. Once again, because there were police available. Why? Defund the police. Put social workers in there. This is what's happening. I don't know why people don't understand this. It literally breaks my heart in two that these people are waiting for help, and then we have police officers out there. They can't get help when they need it because our neighboring city is full of calls. Our current city is full of calls, and the nearest person is 4.5 miles away for backup. But yet, you know, we have this certain sector of society that wants to defund the police, and then the police are out there trying to help, and they have no backup, no resource. They're just out there by themselves. So if you think that's a good thing, then I respectfully request you to move somewhere else. And what I mean somewhere else, I mean out of the United States. We don't need you here. And maybe that's blunt, but I'm tired of it. Have a good night. Wear your seatbelts.